type of energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy. Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule, that guy, Sean Belesian. What's up, friend? How are you?
I want to give a special shout-out this morning, all right?
Okay, feel free.
To all our Vanderbilt Commodore friends. Thanks for tapping in. I love every one of you guys. You have quickly become one of the most delusional fan bases in the entire nation, and I applaud you for it. Best of luck this year. But that was fun all weekend. It really was.
It was fun to watch you work. More on that in a second. We have Chase. Chase has the sun hat on indoors.
Yeah. So bit of a pickle. I have on my bike right now. I've got a flat tire in my car, so just keeping the sun hat on, rocking and rolling. Got a 3-mile ride home after this. Yeah. So hey, we get it.
Spencer Raxter in the building.
Hello.
Spenny, how'd you deal with the heat yesterday?
I was chilling by the pool all day. Yeah, pounded some White Claws. The pool, like, my neighbor, I've been blessed that my neighbor, one of my best friends, Adam, has lived next to him my whole life. He's got the best pool in Centerline, and it's not even close. In-ground pools, got the hot tub on it, too, got the slide and the basketball court, or basketball rim, stuff like that, so... Yeah, we were big chilling all day yesterday.
All right.
I bought a couple of floaties because, we were me, him, and his girlfriend, Melina, who lives with them. We were all just hanging out there. We're like, if this is what it's like in June, in August, it's going to be gross. So I ordered an inflatable beer pong thing with a cooler in the middle, and it's an inflatable tank that has, a gun attached to it that's like a pump water gun that's part of it. It's pretty sweet. I'm excited for it to get here. So, yeah.
Spenny did it right.
If you could hook that up with some alcoholic beverage of choice, how cool would that be?
That would be very cool.
Neil, open your mouth. I'm firing something in Neil's gullet. That'd be fantastic.
I would definitely do that, no doubt. Intern Simeon is here in the house. And, Sean, you alluded to it. And on 4 Down Friday, innocent enough question by Intern Simeon. He asked a question about Vanderbilt and their quarterback. Diego Pavia. Sorry, I said Pavia instead of Pavia. It's a crucial mistake in the Vanderbilt circles. But anyway,
good question. I think it was a good question.
He just said, "Hey, we run football in the state of Tennessee now." We kind of laughed it off. What do you got, Spin?
We like him.
We all said it.
We like him.
He's
all
fun.
Said it. I looked from the
him.
second.
I remember watching him at the Quick Lane Bowl in 21. I loved him.
Right.
And it was funny because Neil made some reference about it wasn't week one. Mm-hmm. It was early in the season. And I shit you not, Neil and I were legitimately texting each other.
Yeah. At 1 a.m.
No, this is pretty, all right.
Vandy
Who's this kid
island.
at New Mexico State and everything?
Yeah.
And do you know what the problem comes down to, though? Honestly, do you know what it comes down to? And I hope that Michigan fans around here are past the point of getting upset about things like this. But if you remember, Neil, a decade ago, a lot of Michigan fans got mad because you refused to call them something that they weren't. That's what happened, okay?
Right.
During the Rich Rod era and during the Brady Hoke era, nobody was referring to Michigan as, in any way, shape, or form, even Big Ten elite, right? Okay, and people would get mad at you. And I would oftentimes say, it's not my fault. I didn't do. You've been and also ran in the Big Ten for years now. I didn't do any. And I think that dynamic was because if you drill down and Neil was going, dude, and I told when I'm in the mood, I can keep going, okay?
I was just delighted to watch you work. I
had a few alcoholic beverages in me on Friday, so I think that helped.
Shout out.
But you know what you have to do with people like that? You have to drill down to the core issue. And you know what the core issue for those people are?
They were 3-5 in the SEC.
You got it. And they so desperately want people to look at them.
It was wild.
For something more than 7-6 and 3-5 in the SEC.
It was Sean.
Every conversation we had ended the same way. It was really weird. It was weird.
And the reason we're bringing it up, guys, is because there are probably a few of you that are watching down in Nashville now that stumbled across the show. That innocent clip on a 4-down Friday of, national college football, just asking a question about Vanderbilt's quarterback, got 40,000 views on social media. Like it took off. And I saw a side. Guys, you laugh at it up here. It does mean more down there. That's the lesson that I learned. Spenny,
I'll say to the day I die.
I don't know if you saw it at all. These people came from everywhere.
I did not see it.
Vanderbilt people.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I didn't know there was Vanderbilt people.
There's thousands of them.
Yeah.
It's great. It was a cute story last year. I mean, they went 7-6. They beat the number 1 team in the nation and everything. And it was funny because one of the things that they kept telling us to do our research and then repeatedly telling us that he never played Hawaii. And I kid you not, I literally posted the box score. Okay, and this guy goes, "You're out of your mind. He never played." Oh yeah, you know what I did? I broke into ESPN. I changed all their software and I made up those stats. I did. That's what happened. And but you know what, you guys, seriously, appreciate the passion. I'm dead serious when I say this. I wish you guys the best. Okay, but you were cute last year. You were 7-6. You went 3-5. And to be honest with you guys, and I think this is what you're most mad at, you're most mad at the fact that your over-under is 5.5. I didn't do that either. And Neil didn't do that. And our intern Simeon didn't do that. So best of luck this year.
Best of luck. No, it was just, it was wild. The SEC,
fun.
it does mean more, though.
Oh,
So that's the moral of the story. These people were unbelievable.
Neil,
Vanderbilt.
Neil, and as I said, I wasn't trying to kiss anybody's butt. Anybody that knows me, until further notice, it's still the best conference in college football. Period. It is. If the Big Ten finds a way to win the Natty again this year, we might have to start having some negotiations and some chat about it. But yeah, as I sit here today, what is it, June 23rd? The SEC is the best conference in football, and it is the most passionate fan bases. And I've been down to Vanderbilt and saw a game. The only place I didn't see, at least in the old SEC, is South Carolina. And I will tell anybody that listens, you think it's crazy up here, you ain't seen nothing.
Yeah, it is. It was absolutely absurd. Jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread. Get your thoughts out there. Double G21. Use the super chat. You can skip the line that way. Went to a Great Lakes Loons game on Saturday. Some damn good baseball. The Dodgers organization, we know the Dodgers as this mega conglomerate corporation, this international just corporation, right, that has a massive payroll and all that stuff. Make no mistake, the Dodgers are good. Their system is good. And they do this weird thing, too. And I had a chance to call some games in that league for a while there. And some of the Loons games against the Whitecaps and all that kind of stuff, talking to their people. They bring their internationals up at 21. They drop them off in Midland, Michigan, and you can either play or you can't. And if you can't,
go.
And if you can, you're going on. That's the way it works. No, it is. It's a lot of fun. I know a lot of people too in the Loons organization. They do put on a good show. Xavier D. Vanderbilt calls themselves the Ivy League of the South. That's so sad. It is a good academic school. Jacaro, very cute Vanderbilt. Go back to your baseball field. Well, if you could beat Wright State out of the Horizon League, then maybe you could go back to your baseball field, but you couldn't. Baseball is slipping away from you, Vanderbilt. Not even a Horizon League school is Vanderbilt in baseball anymore. But you'll probably tell me that they never lost to Wright State this year, right? You share qualities with another fan base I know of.
Oh, boy.
What?
Nothing. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? All right. Stay cool, everybody. You know what else I learned this weekend, Sean? So last night, my son and I went over to Stony Creek, the Metro Park Golf Course over there at Stony Creek.
Shout out.
Shout out. They do a nice little deal there for parents with their kids. And it was we teed off at 6:45. And there was a guy there. There was a guy there sitting there, and we walk. We got a hand cart and we walk. It's what we do. He's like, "You're walking 9 holes?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "In this?" You 95 is only 10 degrees warmer than 85, right?
That makes a big difference.
Your feet do not melt. You do not shrivel up and die. You can do stuff outside, guys. You can.
Can you though?
Yes, you can.
You
Smitty.
can. It's just more miserable.
Yeah.
It's just more miserable.
You can, but like, do you want to?
Yeah.
Like, we can handle 20-degree below wind chills. We can handle it.
Blanky.
Yeah, I'd rather.
Now, I'd rather not be outside in that.
Yeah, either of that. I'm good on either of that. I'm a middle guy.
I don't know. I just think we're kind of
75
Neil,
and sunny. I'll go.
You
do
know what I
stuff.
did yesterday? Like legitimately, I went and took a bike ride like around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Just took a nice bike ride, and there are a lot of hills in where I live in Northville and everything. When I came back, I'm not gonna lie, it was a mess, like an absolute mess. My kid took a picture of me, and my hair was all over the place, right? And it was like that Nick Nolte mugshot. Remember that mugshot when he was like .82 or whatever? I mean, the dude was just
Yes.
out of his mind, blasted.
Goddamn
and
right.
like I tell you, like my kid looked at me and was like, Dad. And it was like, ugh, with my hair sticking all over the place. It's miserable. I told you to each your own. I'm the type of person, you give me my choice, I'll take the 20 degrees
I'm
below
taking
zero.
too cold over too hot
I will.
any day of the week.
Because I can do things to get warm.
Yep.
That's always been my rationale behind it.
Yeah.
Grab my blankie, make a fire, I'm cool. When it's like this, the only place that was comfortable in my house yesterday, Neil, was the basement. Like my kid and I, before the NBA Finals came out, we went downstairs. We turned on Platoon. He hadn't seen Platoon before.
Oh, great
and then we chilled out
movie.
watching the NBA. Platoon's phenomenal.
Have you seen Apocalypse Now?
Oh, tremendous.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Art Vandelay. I live down here in Nashville. That Alabama win by Vandy really got their D's swinging. Oh, I know. We know intimately.
It was awesome. Like, seriously.
Yeah, it was very cool. I was rooting for him.
That was the crazy thing about Vandy was like on TV. I remember watching the opener. That was the noon game.
What week was that?
But this is
Sean, was
last
that
year.
week 0,
Not-
week 1?
Not 2023. Do you remember they were on against Virginia Tech?
Yes.
It was week 1 last year, and it was the
Sean?
noon game, and it was an enjoyable game. I
Was
liked
it week 1?
That was week. I know that was week.
Was it week 1, Sean?
Yeah, that's what. It was funny. I kept saying, I apologize adamantly. We didn't remember exactly what week some random New Mexico
Yeah.
State game
They
was
were like,
2
guys,
years ago.
that was week 5, not week 1.
Sorry, dude.
Okay.
I knew it was early in the year. It was September. I knew that.
Woodward Sports chat thread. I'm also mad at you, Sean,
Why?
because you did this. And I don't know if you did it on purpose.
Oh, no.
I don't know if you did or not, and I do need an answer to it.
All right.
Ryan, is it ironic that when it became legal to pay players, the Big Ten started to take over?
No.
Sean,
Oh, no.
wait a minute. There's more than that, Sean.
Oh, no.
The Big Ten owns college football now.
Oh, jeez, no. Oh, no.
You did this. You did this to us. You did this to me.
Do you know what? The one thing that we have to remember that there just are a lot of people that created their own alternative universe. Like, that's one thing I have to always remind myself of that. Okay, that there are people that have created their own alternative universe, and we have to plan accordingly. I really didn't do it on purpose. I didn't. I
Big
really
12 is still alive.
If anything, I think I was giving the conference some love, because like if they win it this year, Neil, that's 3 straight. I think some conversations need to start. Right now it's 2. It's this, whether people want to admit it or not. Especially when you look at the last 15 years and all the SEC championships.
Just go back to high definition television. That's what I do.
Do you remember not that long ago these conversations were taking place when we didn't have a leg to stand on? We didn't. So, I mean, what am I thinking? People are going to be rational.
Now we got 2 at least.
Yeah. Oh, and Spenny, like I said, I'm not being smug. You'll
Yeah.
know when I'm being smug. If somebody wins it this Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, somebody wins it this year, I think we have to have that conversation.
But now are they going to count Oregon as really a Big Ten team now?
Well, they will now because it fits a narrative.
Yeah. They're not a Big Ten
listen.
team.
I don't think this is
Till
the
they
right
win an
year to
Natty.
think about national title aspirations in the Big Ten. Clearly, the Commodores are a team
have taken over.
Have taken over. This is Commodore takeover in
Yeah.
2025.
So be ready for it.
We're the train
Who's
tracks.
your way too? Well, I guess it's not way too early. It's like a month or two away. Who's your favorite?
This year?
This year.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not Texas. Not feeling Texas.
No.
No Arch Manning
No.
love.
No.
But Sean, he hangs out in the hood.
I saw that.
I still think it's Georgia.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just do.
No Texas, and you want to. It's over for Alabama.
I
It's
like
over.
Florida.
It's over.
I like Florida.
You know, if that guy makes them legitimate, he was this close to losing his job last year.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, he really was. If they go legitimate this year, dude, that's insane. That's insane.
Hurricane ran at 8 yesterday morning. The humidity was on par with the southeast. I did Saturday evening, and it wasn't quite as humid. Obviously, a little more humid in the morning, so it wasn't too bad. But it was. I went out in those salt mines, Spenny. I went up the hills and stuff like
Me
that.
and my friend Cody we were wrestling outside of Coonan on Friday night. That counts. Dudes being bros, we both just hammered. He's like, shoot, pussy, shoot. I shot. He got me in. That's his one thing. He's got a sprawl. Did a good sprawl. Got me in a headlock, and then I got on top, mounted him. It was fun. Good time. I remember there was one in East Lansing. One random Halloween, I was at a random house party, and all my friends were up there with me. And my boy Mustache, he was really
Shout out
good.
Mustache.
Shout out Mustache. He was really good at wrestling. He's smaller than me, but he was really good at wrestling. Like he wrestled in high school and stuff. And so me and him were wrestling, and the owner of the house came out and was like trying to stop us because it was the middle of a party. There's 100 people on the lawn, and me and him were just like getting after it, like actually aggressively wrestling. And he tries to stop up, and I look up at the dude mid wrestle. I was like, "You're next!" And he turns around and walks away. We just kept going.
Hit him with a Goldberg.
Yep.
You're next. Lunchbox, real quick here. I'm going to say, can we do this in 30 seconds, which I know we can't. But Lunchbox. Neil, any rebuttal on what Sam had to say about you today? Chase, you were on the part of the morning extravaganza, right?
Yes.
What did Sam have to say about me today?
It was towards the end of the show. It was in reference to Darko Milicic.
Yeah.
You credit him for being a part of the Pistons championship or something with that.
Yeah, he was
And
there.
he was saying
Benny was there too, right?
Yeah, that you said it's not the worst pick of all time because he played a
Contributed to a
career and he won a
championship.
championship.
Yeah.
It's not the worst pick of all time. Got a second contract and everything.
Yeah, I just think of with the players drafted after him, I think the context makes it the worst, if not one of.
Well, if you're comparing them to LeBron and stuff like that, yeah. No, obviously he wasn't as good as LeBron.
I'll say Anthony Bennett is a worse pick.
Michael
than Darko.
Olowokandi. The streets are littered with them, man.
Yeah.
Well, that Anthony Bennett draft was awful.
That
just
was a
all the way
very
through.
bad draft class for sure.
You know, here's the thing, and I can't believe because Neil will tell. I was as hard on Darko as anybody back in the day. I was. Here's the thing that people forget. You guys weren't living through it. Everybody loved him. Everybody, scouts, every
Denver would have slit someone's throat to draft him.
Everybody loved him. Legitimately, everybody loved him. Right, wrong, or indifferent is inconsequential. Joe Dumars has to wear that till the day he dies.
Right. Both things can be true here, but to say he's the worst draft pick ever is
No, you can't
not even. It's not even fathomable. You can't even make a case for that. Nothing. He got a $20 million second contract, played in Minnesota, averaged double figures for a year in the league. That's not the worst player of all time. That's not even close. But we do this a lot, right? You talk about it. Great has replaced good.
Yep.
And bust has replaced average.
100%.
I mean, he was a bust. He wasn't average. He was a bust.
He had an 8-year career, man.
Yeah, but
9-year career.
When you're drafted number 2 overall, you're expected to have more than an 8-year career. You're supposed to be a star. And the context of the players that drafted after him does not help his case at all. When 3 Hall of Famers go directly after him, that definitely hurts.
But those three teams would have killed their grandmother to get
But do
Darko.
you agree? I think what people are doing is they're letting their emotions get involved in this. Bad pick. Nobody's
Awful pick.
arguing
Yes.
otherwise. To call it the worst pick of all
It's
time
false.
is emotional.
Yeah.
That's just emotional.
It's
fair.
false, dude. And what do you think the narrative is on Sean Bradley?
It was a bust.
Dude played 14 years in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said,
He did.
Anthony Bennett definitely.
That's
the worst
a bust.
pick. That's a bust.
Michael Olakandi.
Yeah, that's a bust.
That's an
Ryan
all-time
Pacific.
bust.
But also, like, Anthony Bennett draft class, like Chase said, it was like the best players out of it are like Rudy Gobert and Giannis. And I remember
Oladipo had a run.
Dave Griffin. We at MSU, during my sports journalism class, we got to interview him, and I asked him. We all got to ask 2 questions. I went up there. I was like, what happened with Anthony Bennett? Like, what was that pick all about? And he was like, we thought he was the best ready NBA player, and obviously nobody expected Giannis to be what he is now, or he would have been the number 1 pick, no doubt. But it was just a bad class.
Part of the Darko thing, Neil, you know this. He was one of those guys. He was too young. He wasn't ready for it. Some guys just aren't ready for it emotionally, mentally, emotionally, maturity-wise. He wasn't ready for it. I can't tell you how many guys on that team, they knew. They talked about it back then. He was just, he came from someplace else. All of a sudden he was, how many times you hear the story? 18, 19-year-old, all of a sudden he's got a bunch of money in his pocket and he's hanging out at clubs that he dreamed about, right? He got caught up in it.
And there's
he wasn't good.
And he wasn't playing. So, like, on that Thursday night when you're in said club and there's a game on Friday, you don't care.
He got mopey.
Yeah, like
he got very mopey.
You don't care, and you get at like
Yep.
to say he's like an all-time draft bust is
He is.
no way.
Darko? Yeah,
No
he
way.
is.
To say he's an Olowokande, Anthony Bennett, and I could go through the list. of
Not
them,
Anthony
dude.
Bennett, but he's definitely a draft bust.
No, like the guys around him don't have an impact on that. See, that goes back to what you're talking about with the emotion. The guys that went around him do not play into that.
Because, I think he does.
No, because we're talking about Darko and his career. That
Yeah,
has
but-
nothing to do with it. You could say that about anybody. You could
But-
go back and look who was taken right after that guy.
I don't know. I think that
That's where it hurts.
I think Darko's a bust for
the,
sure.
the value of what that pick might have been is where it hurts. How much longer could the Pistons remain?
And not even,
that's what hurts.
Not even that. When you draft somebody at number 2 overall, they need to be better than what Darko was. Not even what the guys you have after. You have to be better than that at number 2
100%.
overall, or you're a bust. He was not nearly a lottery pick, let alone the number 2 overall pick.
People forget, though, how often does an NBA champion have the number 2 pick in the draft?
That's true, and yeah, maybe he could have averaged double digits on a bad team, but still, you're the number 2 pick. You're supposed to be better than double digits.
Who was he
going to
play in front of?
Nobody, but you have to earn that spot. You're number 2 overall pick.
Do you know what? Like here, do you know what a bust is to me? Like, and you can define it any way you want. I hope you know I'm not being a dick and saying you're wrong, Spenny. Do you know who a bust is to me? Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen is a bust.
That's an insane bust.
That is like what was
Yeah.
he taking overall?
Second, I think.
Right?
Or
10th, right?
Right.
So like that's a bust. Like that kid, I'm sorry.
and what he was talking about,
Neil
10th overall, yeah.
It was 10th, right?
Yep.
Okay, Neil, this is where, shout out to our Vandy friends, guys like you and I stay up and watch the Pac games, right? Or the Hawaii games. I watch that guy so many times, and I swear to God, I used to ask Scott Bischoff, I was like, am I missing something?
Yep.
Am I, like when I watched him, like I felt like I was dumb. Now, in fairness, there have been some other quarterbacks that I said that turned out to be really good quarterbacks. The Josh Rosen thing was weird.
It was.
There was nothing there.
No.
There was. Do you know what there was? There was a swagger.
Sam Darnold.
There was aura.
I said the S word, so I have to give a shout out to my buddies at Vanderbilt. But no, really, there was a swagger. There was an aura. But there. So to me, Spenny, that's a bust. A guy that he didn't belong in the National Football League.
No,
you
he
know what I
didn't.
mean? Darko was a bust based on where he was picked, but he was an NBA player.
Yeah, if he was a second round pick, it wouldn't have been a bust. But
Well,
he was number 2 overall.
Big Joe says Darko's arguably a top 5 draft bust. Go look up Michael Olowokandi and those guys, bro. Just because he was projected highly makes him more of a bust. And yes, the guys after him made 100 times worse of a pick. If they took Dwayne Wade, would he have played here?
He would have played more than Darko, and he would have eventually been a starter. Yes.
When they tear it down and it was over.
No, probably year 2 in the league, he would have taken a starting position.
Oh,
He's the
from Chauncey or Rip?
Yes.
No chance.
What do you mean? He's
No
the
chance.
second best, arguably the third best shooting guard of all time.
Right.
He would have found a way, just like Carmelo
Win.
Anthony, if you would have drafted Carmelo Anthony or Chris Bosh in a year
They would
or
not have
two,
played that
those
first
guys,
year.
No, they wouldn't.
They
have
would not have played
they
that
wouldn't have
first year.
started. They absolutely would have played and been rotational pieces.
They
Yes,
would not have
would
played.
Yes, they would have, Neil. They would have been rotational pieces. What do you mean? It's a basketball game. You need more than 5 guys to play. Those guys would have gotten spots in the rotation and eventually gotten starting spots probably the
Well,
year
stretch
after.
out that team's bench.
Yeah, and Dwayne Wade or Carmelo Anthony would have been better than Mike Jones or the other guys coming off of that bench. They are all-time Hall of Fame level talents.
But I know that team worked and won a championship the way it was set up.
Yeah,
I know they did.
for sure.
Like
but
you can't argue it.
Yeah, but you can't argue that
can't.
the team would have been worse by taking out Darko and adding a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
No,
those guys
that-
were drafted in 03. They won the championship in 04.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm saying though, like that team won a championship. You know, all these guys. That's why I can't get with the guys taken after him. It would have negatively impacted their career at the beginning as well. Am I crazy here?
No, I don't think so. It would have been interesting. That's why conversations like this are difficult because there is what we know and what we think we know. Like I think that's really what's in play here. Spenny, I agree with you. I have a feeling those guys find a way in the rotation and
like,
heavily.
Dwayne Wade is a top 3. Like it goes Kobe or Michael, Kobe, D Wade. When
And
you
I
look at
think
shooting guards all
you
time.
had a coach in the time in Larry Brown that would have said, "I've got to find a way to get this guy minutes." Whereas with Darko, let's be honest, he didn't have to find a way to get Darko minutes. He didn't. I think he would have found a way.
Exactly.
How many? I don't know.
D-Wade-
That's why it's a weird conversation.
They wouldn't have been starting year 1, no, but they would have earned a starting spot eventually because that's the level of player and talent that they are. They're Hall of Famers. They wouldn't have been stunted their growth if they go to a championship level team. I disagree. I think it would have benefited their careers.
Who's to say though that what impact that would have had? Like it had a negative impact on Darko. We said
it would
as
have
much.
had more of an impact on. There would have been a positive impact on the team. They would have had more of an impact.
No,
on
how
Darko.
would they have handled being in that where you are not playing? You're not playing.
They would have been fine. They would have played. It's not they're not playing. They would have played. They would have gotten minutes. And they would have been impactful minutes because they are significantly more talented players.
You know the crazy
Darko
thing
Milicic.
is that dude just turned 40. Like it seems like I've talked about Darko my entire. Look it up. I'm serious. He just turned 40 just a few days ago. I've been talking about Darko my entire lifetime, and he's only 40 years old. And he probably hasn't played in the league in 13 years?
Yeah.
12, 13 years. I think. Can I be the arbiter between both of you?
Yes.
I think you're both right. He was a bust if you're talking about the second overall pick. He was not a bust if you're talking about an NBA player. I think
And that's it. We're having two different definitions.
I think they're splitting hairs.
That's fair.
but, yeah.
I can get off the highway on that exit. Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into there, get your thoughts. Jacob, Greg Oden, not really his fault, a bust nonetheless.
Yeah, that injury.
That's the book though with
That
these
one
7-foot
sucks.
guys,
Yeah.
man.
Injuries always. People aren't supposed to be that big.
First Mind, she said Darko was pretty good, too young, too much pressure.
That was who'd he quote? Sheed?
Sheed, yeah.
That was the take from those guys. We were the home of the Pistons at the time, and when you talked to those guys privately, they said incredibly talent. He's not ready, mature, or mentality, all that stuff. Emotionally, all that stuff.
Yeah.
He was an 18-year-old kid that came here and was an instant rock star. And look, there are a lot of guys that wilt under that pressure. He was one of them. It was never going to happen. Never going to happen.
Yes. Woodward Sports chat thread. Get into there. DNC ENT, love Neil, but holy shit, he's not an all-time bust, dude. Had a 9-10 year career, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Got a $20 million contract, dude.
I understand what you're saying because it really does come down to the guys that didn't make it. It's the guys that didn't make it. So do we separate bust? I mean, how many years did Darko play? Dozen years, right?
I'd have to look it up. But
The guy lasted in the league for a while. He wasn't a really good player, but he lasted in the league for a while, right? How about the guy that goes high and never makes it? Is it two different degrees of bust? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's an interesting conversation. How long did he play?
he was 10 years.
10 years.
10-year career, yep. So, again, we just have two different definitions. I think of bust like Sean Bradley's not a bust to me because he played 14 years in the league.
I get what you're saying.
Somebody saw value in him to keep around for 14 years.
Could we say he was a bust for the Pistons, but not a bust overall? If we took the screw to
I
it
think
was
he's
a
a bust
busted
o-
pick
I think
for
he's
the
a bust
Pistons,
overall
but
'cause he
a
was
guy that
drafted
plays
second.
a decade in the NBA. Neil's got a point, you guys. Come on.
I think if you're drafted second overall, there should be more expectations than plays a career in the NBA.
Fair enough.
All right, man, look at that. Hey, we missed a break, everybody. Tell them about Les Stanford.
Les Stanford Chevrolet. If you're looking to buy or sell your car, Les Stanford should be your first choice. You can get a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive, $259 per month, or a 2025 Hummer EV SUV for $699 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation, $169 per month. Les Stanford Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Scan that QR code or go to lesstanford.com today. And let me tell you about the massage chair house. I just got done taking their Pharaoh Q for another test drive. The thing is awesome. It's the Rolls Royce of massage chairs. But they have the largest massage chair showroom in Michigan, meaning they have chairs to fit anyone's budget. So scan that QR code to see their massive inventory. The Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Planet Fitness. In case you don't know, it's summertime. But with all that being said, you can get your fitness on this summer at Planet Fitness. The high school summer pass program is back. Teenagers ages 14 to 19 can work out for free all summer long. This allows teens to prioritize their mental and physical health while school activities like sports and gym class are in recess. Since launching this program, Planet Fitness has invested more than $300 million in waived membership dues to promote youth health and fitness as well. So shout out to Planet Fitness for that. And yeah, if you're 14 to 19, pull on up to Planet Fitness. You can work out all summer. You just fill the forms out, and boom, you are in there. PlanetFitness.com.
And let me tell you about Dr. Pierce. Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine every Tuesday on Big D Energy and Thursdays on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy, the DMAC trust. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit him at MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or give him a call at 248-426-9944.
All right, back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belesian. We have Chase, intern Simeon. He's a legend in Vanderbilt. And, of course, Spencer Raxter as well. All of you in the chat, Marty Max, we had the Timu versions of Dwayne Wade and Rodney Stuckey. And we're here talking about Wade wouldn't have taken playing spots and got playing time. Okay, guys, the championship year, which is what I was talking about when Richard Hamilton averaged 36 minutes. Billups averaged 35. I'm going Sam Flannel right now. And Lindsey Hunter averaged 20. Where's the next guard going to play? Are you taking Lindsey Hunter off the floor for that team, Sean? Are you doing it to put a rookie in there? Second-year guy. Are you doing it?
They'll get minutes. They'll be part of a rotation. They aren't going to get a lot. I have no other way to say that.
Okay, that was my point.
Like,
listen! Listen, I listen to you, okay? Let's get into the Tiger stuff. All right, guys, you wanted it? You got it. I listen to you. I listen to you when we do this show. I listen to you when I dance around social media. the Tiger season's over, I guess. That's it. Jack Flaherty, it's a wrap. All of it. This is over. This is today?
Yep.
It's over. That is over.
That's it.
What,
Thanks
guys,
for playing.
what are we doing with this Tigers team right now? You go into a series at Tampa up against one of the hotter teams in baseball. Your ace isn't pitching. I get crushed by everybody when I say Scubo's the most valuable player on this team, far and away, and it's not close. Well, he only plays once every 5 days. He wasn't going to pitch in this series. Therefore, your probability to win this series goes down, everybody. Yes, it does. Flaherty got knocked around a little bit. Yes, it happens. And somebody said, well, you're still not worried about Jack Flaherty? No, because 3 starts in front of that. 6 innings, 1 earned run, an 18 innings pitch. No, he got knocked around. Like, it happens, guys. What is it with this team? And what is it with the sports fans today? Should they be 162-0, Sean? Like, whenever they lose, it's unbelievable what happens. The meltdown that this chat has. We need a leadoff hitter. We need another bat. We need a starter. Like, what is it, Sean?
I think people we forget that you know we've got Reese that might be coming back. I don't know if that makes you happy. I will say I would hope everybody in this room. This is a both things can be true scenario. Okay, I think the Detroit Tigers are very good. I think the Detroit Tigers, it would be in their best interest to be desirous of getting another arm in that bullpen.
That's every contending
100%.
The Mets, the Phillies, the Dodgers, the Yankees, all
I
of them.
think for this franchise, Neil, that was our blankie last year. It was, whether we want to admit it or not, because we knew that Bo Brisky was going to go out there almost on a day-by-day basis and do Bo Brisky things, and I was going to claim, let's have a parade for him. So that's something. Neil, when I and we were going to do this, of course, we never got to it on our 4 Down Friday. One of the questions I asked, Spenny, you saw it, okay?
Yeah.
One of the questions I asked is, are the Tigers still the team to beat in the American League? The answer to that, in my opinion, undoubtedly yes. But who are you most afraid of? Do you know who has reappeared on my radar without a shadow of a doubt is the Houston Astros? And I think we should all be terrified of the Houston Astros, especially the way their top 2 pitchers are going right now. If Hunter Brown, okay, who we talked about last year, if Hunter Brown can go out and match Scooble, gulp. And Hunter Brown is having a miraculous season right now.
He's
And I'm not just saying that because he's a Wayne State Warrior either. Okay? He is having a miraculous season right now. I think we should all be a little concerned. It took some time for the Astros to get things going. The Astros got it going right now, and they have 2. I think their top 2 are better than our top 2, and I'll leave it at that. Their top 2 pitchers are better than our top 2 pitchers right now. Do I think we'd win in a series? Yes. But how many times, I'm not going to be a hypocrite, how many times have we said this? Everything tightens up in October, okay? And I'll go with pitching in October. I like their top 2 starters better than our top 2 starters right now. As a whole, I'll take Scooble over anybody. All right, so please do not misconstrue that. I'll take Scooble over anybody, okay? But I would feel more comfortable with their top 2 starters than our top 2 starters, if that makes sense.
No, it does. I just don't get it. Like, when they're a good team, what is it about us as fans? That's today. That's not like a week ago. That's today. And guess what, guys? They did what they needed to do. They got the game yesterday. That was it.
8.5 game lead in the division.
Like, that was it. I don't Sean, I don't understand where all this is coming from. You would think that they are Kansas City right now. The constant in the chat this morning when we were getting ready to sign on to do the show. Tigers need this. Tigers need that. Tigers need, like, they need a power hitter. They need a leadoff guy. They need a starter. They need a bullpen guy.
You know what's really cool about baseball is they keep stats. And they, like, cumulative
They keep track
stats.
of everything.
I don't know if people knew that. And so, you know what I look at? When I look at an overall record, I think that speaks more than anything. I really do. I'm a firm believer in that speaks more than anything. Now, it doesn't automatically guarantee you anything, but how many times have we had this conversation going the other way for all the Ingites out there? Remember, I mean, it's a biblical thing. The Ingites were a crazy, delusional people, right? And they would, Neil, do you remember?
The
There were the
Ingites.
Philistines, the Babylonians, and the Ingites. And they were always trying to get after Jerusalem. It was a bad scene. God didn't like the Ingites. But do you remember what the Ingites used to do?
No, Sean. What did the Ingites used to do?
The Ingites would only show up after their Lord and Savior, Brandon Charles Inge, would go like 2 for 2 and draw a walk. See? What do you have to say now? Forget about what he did over the course of a week. Forget about what his overall numbers were. The most important thing was that moment, Neil. And like, unfortunately, there are too many people that live in the moment like that, okay? Listen, this weekend sucked, okay? Can I take it a step further? Do you know what's really weird? The Tigers have gotten their ass kicked a lot in the past couple weeks. Like, go back and look at some of the scores. They've gotten their ass kicked a lot the last couple weeks. And they won 2 out of 3 series, and they're the best team in baseball. And a national publication just put them number 1 on their power ranking list this week. Cool. Are we cool? Can we move on?
No. Sean. This chat, bro.
Don't bring the Ingites in. I don't need the Ingites.
They're back, baby.
Oh, no.
They are back. No, it's just like
These 0 home runs in the home run derby, man.
That was...
Oh, man.
I'll
tell you what, Neil.
He hit the ball hard, though, remember?
If you put Javi in the home run derby this year, he's not hitting 0. I'll put that on my life.
well, I think any major league player, if you put him in the home run derby, would not hit 0.
You'd think.
You would think. You would think. Woodward Sports chat thread. You want to skip the line? Use the super chat. As a matter of fact, Dante151 did just that. So people are worried about the Tigers, even though MLB updated their power rankings. They still have the Tigers number 1
Sorry for stealing your thunder.
in their power rank.
Yes.
No, but
Yes.
Dante, yes, it's unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable. I do want to get into this. Noah Messi. Well, when your second pitcher has a 4.83 ERA, a lot of teams will have a better 1-2 punch at pitcher. So Jack Flaherty's done. It's over.
That's what they're saying.
Okay, let's take the break so we can recalibrate
Trade him.
for a second. Guys, look, Ben Johnson Law, you need a fighter on your side. Let's cut the ish, everybody. We're talking about trials. We're talking about judgments. We're talking about real life stuff that has a direct impact on your life. Get a fighter on your side. Get VenFights.com. Ben Johnson Law, the fighter you need on your side.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, June 29th at the Old Miami in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Ben Johnson.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo.
Ah.
You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
Neil Rolla here for Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. And right now you can scan the QR code on the screen above my head. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app, and when you fund your account using the promo code Woodward1000, all the way up to $1,000. You make your first bet, again, all the way up to $1,000. If that first bet loses, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet. But, hey, just go bet against Jack Flaherty every time he pitches. You'll never lose, according to you guys in here. He stinks. So there you go. Sorry, Caesars, I did that to you right there. But, hey, you guys...
Infinite money glitch.
Right? Yeah, that's it. So scan the QR code. Use the promo code Woodward1000. Make that first deposit. Then when you make your first bet, your very first bet, if it loses, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet, everybody. Caesars Sportsbook, man. It's Caesars, one of the OGs of the sports betting game. The app is clean. It doesn't glitch out. All the markets are out there for you. So, again, Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizian, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Chase, he's got his sun hat on to protect the back of the neck. Even when he's inside, he's taking this heat stuff very seriously. Spencer Raxter just lays like a slug around the pool. That's how he deals with it.
I am very graceful in the pool.
You are? People don't know that about
very
you.
Very graceful, yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Big-time high school swimmer.
We're doing like... I was doing like grab bong hits in my own head, where I'd rip the Benjamin as hard as I can and then run and dive in the pool and blow it out while I'm underwater. It enhanced the hit. It was a good time.
There it is.
Yeah.
We have intern Simeon here. He's big in Nashville and Vanderbilt also.
Can I say this? Can I throw this out there?
Yes. Talking Tigers.
Do you think this is stemmed from... I brought this up, and I just had to fact-check myself during the break. This month, the Tigers have lost, I believe it's 6 times by 5 runs or more.
Yes.
Do you think that's part of it? They've gotten spanked a few times.
When they
month.
lose, they normally get popped.
Right, so they lost 7. They lost by 7 runs to the White Sox, 5 runs to the Cubs, 9 to the O's, 10 to the Reds, 6 to the Rays, and 5 to the Rays.
Yeah, but
is that part of it?
I tried. Here's where my frustration is in that, Sean. The game of baseball has changed since we were last good. It has changed. When things are a losing cause, you pack up the tent.
Yeah, you just give up.
You do.
Yeah.
And look across baseball. That's
why
why
we see Matt Brebbia on the mound every other year.
Right. Like he's the Kenta Maeda.
Yeah.
Or we've had position players pitch this year. Like guys, this is the way baseball works now.
And can I also throw out there, do you know what my response would be? Hey, that's a cool story. They're also playing 600 baseball this month.
Right.
Even with all those bad losses, okay? 6 losses by 5 or more runs. The Tigers are playing 600 baseball this month. Okay, cool.
Salty pork chops. Kerry Carpenter and the bullpen should be concerning.
All right.
Top 10 bullpen, right? Top 10 bullpen,
Probably
Spenny?
still, yeah.
Can we
Let me check.
the Kerry Carpenter thing a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
He's lost.
Yeah.
He's lost right now.
Because he's not an everyday player. He's supposed to be your gadget pinch hit tool.
Yep.
We need Veerling back. You need Veerling back.
You want to know what it is, Spenny, with Kerry Carpenter? And I'll say it. All right? I'll say it. My concern about him has been, is, and will be, A, can he stay healthy for an entire year, which we haven't seen it yet, and B, to further this point, this just goes to show you more about A.J. Hinch. And guys, this is why A.J. Hinch knows more about baseball than we do. When you put guys in positions to succeed where they are strong and they perform, that's the desired outcome.
Yep.
Therefore, you can't ask them to do stuff that they're not. And my very good friends that say, well, you have to have them out there, run them out there against left-handed pitching. That's not the way it works. It's not. He's effective when he's put into positions to succeed by the best manager in baseball.
Yeah.
That's how A.J. Hinch is good. That's how he manages his team. That's why, and Spenny, this kind of backs up your point where I don't think people truly do believe, but A.J. Hinch is the glue that gets more out of these parts. The sum of these parts when A.J. Hinch is the manager is greater than these parts on their own. Yes, Spenny?
Yeah, like I said it on Heavyweights, like Andy Ibanez as the lefty killer has died and then been reborn through Jahmai Jones from the ashes like a phoenix. And like now he's the lefty killer. And that is the type of guy that A.J. Hinch brings the best out of, like a Kerry Carpenter, where you put him situationally in your lineup to hit off of righties, and he hits bombs, and he's got a good slugging percentage. But when you're forced to use him as an everyday player, he's been getting exposed a little bit, and that sucks. But once you get Matt Vierling back, and they're probably, call me crazy here, probably going to make a trade to bring in another bat, and that allows Kerry Carpenter to go back into the role where he succeeds and excels in, then you'll see more out of him. Then you'll see that slugging percentage pop
Agreed.
up, and you'll see the big-time home runs.
That's what
he
happens
is.
when you put guys in positions they shouldn't be in.
Yes.
And it's amazing. That happens in every... The Detroit Red Wings are a poster child for it.
Yes.
Like, they really are. I mean, how many times in the past decade have we seen somebody asking a guy to be something that he isn't?
Advocate or being a
Hey,
first
we
liner.
know you're like a 4-5. Can you be our 2-3? No, you can't be our 2-3. And listen, Kerry, I think everybody loves him. Just seems like a really good dude.
Yes.
I mean that in all sincerity.
He's a big Woodward guy.
Is he really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. He's 2 for 33 with like 11 or 12 strikeouts in his last 33.
Right. And that doesn't concern me as much. I get concerned about the health more than that, because this is the nature of this game. Guys go on these runs, man. Like that, Riley did it. Torque's in the middle of one right now. No one's talking about that anymore. Like, he's hitting like 189 in his last 50 at-bats or whatever it is. So, again, that a specific snapshot in time like this, James Miller, Flaherty, last 2 starts, 15 runs given up in approximately 5 innings pitched. Yikes. 18 innings, the 3 starts before that, 1 earned run.
He's streaky. That's what we know what Jack Flaherty is.
There's good Jack and bad Jack.
He's a streaky pitcher.
There is.
Absolutely.
I used to make that joke.
That's nationally held.
Before Max Scherzer figured it out, do you guys remember Max Scherzer? You flipped a coin every mother bleeping start. Like
Fox do.
There's a reason he got sent down to Toledo. Do you remember? I mean, the
Yes.
dude went down to Toledo, and then of course he promptly came back and did Max Scherzer things. But until he figured it out, now I'm not saying that Jack Flaherty's going to be the next Max Scherzer. I hope, but like good Jack and bad Jack
is real. You just hope he's good Jack during the playoffs like he was last year,
Yeah.
and then you'll be
when
fine.
he was the starter of the Game 1 of the World Series.
And the Tigers' bullpen is fourth in ERA in the MLB and 5th in WHIP in the MLB. So, just saying.
Then what are we talking about with the bullpen? Like, and like, look, I hold this
And
separately.
4th in strikeouts.
I hold this separately, Sean, to say every team, every good team, the Mets, the Phillies, the Yankees, all of them, Houston, all of them will be in the market for a bullpen arm. Everybody. It's the nature of the beast when you're a good team. It's what everybody does.
Do you know what I think part of it is here, though? Let's be honest. This is where I understand a lot of our success last year, and we all talked about this in this room, okay? Was it real? A lot of our success last year was through that wacky spot starter. Forget that. Let's call it something else. Chaos, okay?
Yeah.
And I think right now, I don't care who you are. I don't know how you could feel comfortable about that. I don't know how you could feel comfortable about that.
You look at it, you've got a top 5 pitching staff in baseball per like all the numbers you want, and you could say maybe those are heavily inflated because of Skubal and what he's doing, but also they're not like drowning. And we said it a couple weeks ago that when this Tigers team loses, I feel like people think the magic is wearing off, and it's not.
We're
going to
be exposed
because we're getting an all-star season from Javi Baez, and we're getting all-star level performance or an all-star season from Gleyber Torres, and Zach McKinstry is one of the most important utility guys in the MLB, and people are thinking like, okay, that's going to wear off eventually. So if they lose a little bit, people start singing gloom and doom because you don't have the 4 MVP candidates in this lineup. But I mean, we knew that's what this was going into it, and they're still outperforming what we expected them to, and they're going to add at the deadline because that's what good MLB teams do.
And it's a full season's worth of data now on it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, we're pushing towards August here, guys.
This is where I think our front office could really distinguish themselves too, because as well as I do, you love to collect names, okay? I hope they go out and collect fits, all right? Because how many times did Dave Dombrowski do that? Who's this Doug Fister guy?
Right.
Hand in glove. Hand in glove, the guy was 100 times better than any of us thought. He was better than his numbers suggested and things like that. So that's I'm not looking forward to that, Neil, because you're going to have people who was the hot name at the time? that ended up going to Ubaldo Jimenez.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yes.
Hey, the Tribe got Jimenez. We got some guy named Pfister. Thanks for playing. Let's just hand the Tribe the division. That was the shit that we were dealing with on a daily basis.
Doug Pfister was the man.
And that's what I'm looking at. I'm more intrigued and I don't give a crap about a name. I don't. How's this guy going? How can we find our Bo Brisky this year?
Yeah. You need a guy.
And who knows? Maybe it's Bo Brisky. Maybe he wakes up and goes, oh, yeah, I remember. I was pretty good down the stretch last year. You know what I mean?
And the Tigers are 5-5 in their last 10. So sorry they're not playing 800 baseball like they had been for a while, but it's not like they're 0-10. It's not like they've lost 8 games in a row. Like, yeah, they're 5-5 in their last 10. So is the sky falling there? Maybe. If that's what you want to hold on to, that they're not playing 800 baseball, okay, sorry.
Oh, no, they're only 1 game behind their pace for the whole season. Whatever will we do? Like, really, think of this is a 600 base, 620 as I sit here today.
Yeah.
Okay? They're playing 600 baseball this month. Oh, dear, they've gone 5-5 in the last 10.
They lost a series.
Are you talking, like, seriously, is 1 game that big of a difference?
They lost a series, Sean.
Okay, that's cool. I would say relax. That would be. I hate telling people how they should think. I do. I'm just firm believer. I
enjoy it.
Will you excuse me? Relax. Like, calm down. Seriously.
Can we drill down to the root of this? I want to take the break, and I want to have a discussion. And we've had this discussion in the past, but it's growing, I feel like. And the root of it is what you talk about, Spenny, and like the 4 MVP stuff. I want to figure it out.
Shout out to Brandon Kinder before we go to break in the Woodward Sports Chat. He says, been watching y'all since 2019, and I wanted to say I appreciate y'all for being in my mornings. It's my 25th birthday, and wouldn't want to start it any other way but with y'all. So shout out to Brandon Kinder.
Absolutely,
Happy birthday,
Brandon.
bud.
Appreciate you,
For
man.
real. Happy birthday.
I've said it once. I'll say it 100 times, man. You guys made this. It's not the idiots here talking into the microphone. You guys made this. So appreciate you all. And you respond to what we're talking. I feel like we do a different style of talk than you get everywhere else. Well, I'm not a carnival barker, man. I'm not doing the hope and fear to you guys. I just sit here and tell you what I think, and then I read what you guys think.
I appreciate the streets of Birmingham in the summertime.
There is a lot of talent out there today. I'm glad somebody said it.
Yeah.
There is a lot of talent out on the streets of Birmingham
Might
today.
have to take a hot girl walk at lunch.
You know what? I might have to confess to my friend Neil that perhaps I was wrong about 20 below zero and 9,000 degrees.
Yeah, that's true. You're not seeing that.
I might be Thanos. Perhaps I was too harsh on you, Mr. Rule. Honestly.
It's fair.
There's a lot of talent
You
out
were
there
being an
today.
Ingite about the warmth.
Yeah.
You were.
The Lord needs to just strike them all down. The Ingites have been a very sinful people for far too long.
If the Ingites want to follow Woodward on socials, what should they do?
Go to @Woodward Sports on any social media platform, because we got a giant presence everywhere out there, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, or Twitch. Make sure you're following us @Woodward Sports on all social media platforms.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Tired of losing out on the car of your dreams? Bad credit? No credit? At the Feldman Chevrolet Freedom Sale, we say yes. Over 5,000 new Chevys to choose from, all priced to move with our best deals of the year. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $149 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for only $209 a month. When other dealers say no, Feldman Chevrolet says yes. Don't miss the Freedom Sale, going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Neil Rule here for Woodward Merch. Yes, go to shop.woodwardsports.com. Get the very best in the Detroit sports wearables department. Get your Woodward Tiger stuff. You'll be going down to Comerica Park to boo the team, I guess, because they're not good enough or whatever. But anyway, when you do, wear a Woodward Tiger shirt, whatever. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Hour number 2, everybody. Big D Energy. My friend Sean Belesian. My name is Neil Rule. We have Chase. We have... I don't know if intern Simeon can go to Nashville anymore. That's off your radar.
He's a wanted man.
Yeah. You were?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, yeah.
You better not.
I know. You gotta be careful.
Those Commodore fans.
I know.
40,000 views of a Diego Pavia clip.
Pavia.
So weird. That was like...
They gotta find something to be passionate about.
How many times, like, again, I would go, do you understand? We all said we like the guy.
Yeah.
We all said he's
matter.
got swagger.
Sean, today.
Really weird.
It is weird. Spencer Raxter in the building.
Hello.
All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Steve-O, baby. Neil, can you have Sean pinch the cheeks off the little Woodward Sports chat? I swear, they're never happy. Sean, spoil little Woodward Sports chat brat. I don't know. I only said that to get you to do that. It's cool. That dance for me, clown.
I don't. You guys, like honestly, it just big deep breath. Like honest to goodness, big deep breath. You know the little wacky zany. I threw this out there earlier. Let me correct myself. You know the little power rankings don't matter. Okay, all that stuff. I get it. You're at the point where the ultimate success or failure of this team is going to be determined in October and, dare I say, November. I get it, okay? Because that's where we're at with the Detroit Lions right now. I think you're going to need a little bit more evidence than this past weekend or even this month. And if you're going to use this month, then use this month fairly, okay? Have they gotten their ass kicked? Yeah, I brought it up.
Yeah. 5
different games they lost by 5 or more runs. They've also been a .600 baseball team this month. Like, relax, calm down. Drop that on your wife sometime. There's nothing they love more
Relax.
than when you say relax, and then as she's getting angry, you have to quickly follow it up with calm down.
It works every
well?
time.
Works every time.
Yep.
Big Joe, can we
like
put
pans thrown at your head?
Can we put Flannel in a trade and send him away? He doesn't command a lot in the market.
Not much street value for
There's
Flannel.
no value. Yeah, we can't get value back. Flannel's worth more to us than the value we could get for him in a trade. So that's the way that it works.
Who do you think would be Woodward's most valuable trade asset?
Probably Ryan Lentz.
That's a good pull.
If it were me, and I were like in that realm and looking to acquire, I would go get Ryan Lentz. And I wouldn't have to give up a ton for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would work a level below. That's how I would do it.
That's a good pull.
Good value.
Yeah.
Good contract. He's on a rookie deal.
Brady would get one. Brady would be good trade value, too.
He's on a rookie deal.
Like deals.
Pretty hard to argue with that. I would counter maybe my number 2 would be Simeon. Because, like, if something, just blame it on Simeon. He's not going to say anything. And kid's out of here. He's back to Columbia in a couple months anyway. And then you know what we can do? I could sit in front of everybody and give the press conference and go, we made a very difficult decision. We heard your voices. We heard your crying. And the person to blame for this, Simeon, is no longer part of the Woodward Sports Network, right?
He's been removed. Yeah.
We wish him good luck in his future endeavors.
We wish him good luck. We didn't do anything. Kid went back to school, rightfully so. So, Simeon, there's a lot of value to a guy like Simeon, no doubt.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Jason R. I know he's very valuable in the locker room, and Scuba loves him, but it's time for Jake Rogers to go. I'm not going to say you're seeing that, but there is a reduced role. Dylan Dingler just leaves you no choice.
Backup,
there
sure.
has been. He's the backup. Period.
And
I know he's a great guy, and he's got a wonderful mustache and all that stuff, okay? I don't...
They already told him that. He knows
you
it.
You can't think with this. I'm sorry. You can't.
No,
you
they
can't
told it
think
to him.
with that.
And he even said, he was like, yeah, I see the box score. I'm not like...
That was an all-time great line. I respect him more because of
he's
that.
like, whatever we got to do to win more games, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm cool with Jake Rogers as the backup catcher. Like, see him once every 3 days. Whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thomas Nito, would you rather have Nito in there because he was getting some hits? Maybe you can make that argument for sure, but Jake Rogers provides a lot in controlling the staff and catching, receiving the ball. So him as the backup, I'm not.
I think we saw, too, in real time what happens when you run a catcher into the ground.
Yeah.
Because Jim Leland killed Alex Avila. He did.
Yeah,
he killed him. I mean, down the stretch.
Played him every day. Yeah.
Oh, it was insane. We were jokingly calling him the corpse. Like, literally, he beat him into submission. And, boy, people forget how good Alex Avila was that year, man. He was so damn good.
I would take G-Money.
Yeah.
Shout out Gerald Laird.
Don't do that,
Gerald
please.
Laird was the man.
Okay. Can I get it back on the track,
Talk about
Sean?
aura. G-Money
Game
had
162.
aura. Hey, he had aura.
Game 162. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he go 0 for 5 and left 11 men on base?
Probably. Sounds about right.
Yes. Hey, but aura.
G-Money. He had a cool nickname.
And aura.
Yeah. That helps your aura. If you got a cool nickname,
right.
Definitely helps.
It's almost like you don't leave 11 men on base when you have a cool nickname and aura.
Anytime he'd throw down the second base, his gut would be hanging out and stuff. It was awesome. I was a big G-Money guy.
All right.
He had a laser behind the plate. That is true.
Can I tell you, do you know, I need to throw this out there, and especially for you guys that aren't parents yet, you need to hear this. Game 162 was when I went into my son's room, and I told my son the biggest lie of my lifetime, and I regret it to this day. He lost his mind when the Tigers lost to the Twins, right? To the point where he ransacked his room.
Hell yeah.
Really? Okay.
I mean, when I say ransacked it. Ripped his Justin Verlander poster down, ripped all the pictures he had. I sat him on the edge of the bed. I looked him straight in the eye and lied to him. Do you know what I said?
What'd you say?
Words that I thought would never come out of my mouth. Son, it's only sports. And I've apologized to him since that day. Son, I lied to you on that day to try to get you
It's one of those moments as a parent, you don't know what else to do. Obviously, you just grab the first cliche you have.
That was son, it's only sports. It's not that big of a deal. I think part of me died that day. I really believe that like a year and 9 months was taken off my life expectancy at that point in time.
I've heard that a couple too many times. Yeah.
Your dad's lying to you. You know that, right?
My dad gave me that when Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl. When they lost to Eli, and then that's when he gave me that speech. He's like, "You can't win them all." I was like, "He's fucking Tom Brady. He can win them all."
Just sports.
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to drill down on this because we've been talking about it, and I think Spenny's done a good job of it, and we're talking about what is it with this Tigers team. Why does the fan base live and it seems like a constant state of negativity? Except when they're at the game, which is weird. But then immediately the social channels, here in this chat, everywhere, anywhere where fans have a voice, you're seeing it. There's almost like a distrust, like they don't believe in this team, despite the fact that they are the best team in baseball, and we're pushing into July in 7 days. With the best pitcher in the game, the best manager in the game. You said a top 5 bullpen?
It's top 5 pitching staff.
Top 5 pitching staff in the game. Top 10 bullpen.
Yep.
But the bullpen sucks. I want everybody out of here. And I want to take what Spenny said, Sean, a step further, run this by you and see what you say. You guys have heard me say this phrase for a very long time. The fantasyization of our sports fandom. Our obsession with the transaction instead of the action. The NBA is the second most relevant sport in America because of the transaction. Because stars get traded. Draft night's wild. Free agency, and free agency is not even good in the NBA anymore. Free agency isn't good anywhere because when guys are good, teams sign them. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, Sean, the fantasyization, where I don't think it's good enough anymore for teams to be like, and we see this with the Tampa Bay Rays. Now we just chalk it up to it's Florida, no one cares, nobody's from Florida, so it doesn't matter. But I think this hunts with the Tampa Bay Rays also. If you don't have guys that you know on your fantasy team, you think the team is less than.
Oh, I agree.
Because of the way that you're conditioned to think,
100%.
because you play fantasy sports all the time, because you bet games and you're betting team players to go over on points all the time. You just blind fire the stars to do it. I honestly think that this Tigers team and the way people think about it is skewed because they have matchup-dependent players to a degree. Skubal, is the exception to the rule, but he plays once every 5 days. You don't have a superstar hitter.
Do you know where I would feel better if somebody came at me with the tack that I brought up last hour? If somebody said to me, hey, listen, things are going to be okay. We're going to be a playoff team. I'm worried about the Houston Astros. Then I could sit back and say, all right, tell me more. Well, you know what? I think the fact that they can throw a guy that maybe is on par with Skubal, again, let me say it again, as good as Hunter Brown is, I'll take Skubal. Thank you very much. Every day, all day. But then you can come back and their number 2 is a lot better right now as we sit here today than any number 2 that we have. That's the kind of shit that scares me. That we can have that conversation. I think you'd be down with that too. You go, well, I still think we're a better team, but yeah, I think that's a viable. To me, Neil, it's almost like you're looking for things to pick at, and I got off that train 2 months ago. I did. And I told you on this show. I remember I told KG was sitting in the booth because KG was like our Legoland guy, right? Everything is awesome. Everything's cool. Don't worry about it, okay? And I told KG after the start this year, I said, I'm not going to be that guy anymore. I'm not going to be pick guy.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've enjoyed this baseball season a hell of a lot more than I have in a long time because I'm not pick guy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not. You know when I'll worry about it? When the playoffs start. That's when I'll worry about it. That's when I look at that. I mean, come on, you guys. Like, honest to goodness.
I've only ever heard.
What do you want me to say?
I've only ever heard that excitement when Buddy's Pizza's on the board.
Yeah, that is true. That's reserved for your Buddy's Pizza level of excitement. But no, I honestly think that. I think that you will constantly feel like your team is less than if you don't have a quote-unquote superstar hitter. And I don't understand it. And I've always said this. Remember for the last decade when we have been baseball irrelevant? Totally irrelevant. And I always said secretly, Sean, I said, man, I wish the Tigers were the Rays. I would take that 100 times out of 100. Now, granular folks, before you run in and say, well, did they ever win the World Series? Did they ever win the World Series? No, they did get to one, and they did lose it. But with that being said, I would prefer that over the last decade where we've been. What do you got, Chase?
I'll say they've lost 2 World Series.
2 World Series, my bad, yeah. I would take that over what we've been through the last decade. And then I would worry about the end later. So I don't get it, Sean. I don't understand the why. And, I mean, I think I know the why. Am I crazy, like, when I suggest this, when I think this? Like, in our social media era where we consume sports by clips. We do. Chase, your generation. Again, intern Simeon, your generation. Mm-hmm. Do you sit and watch games or do you watch clips?
I still watch games, but a lot of...
Yeah, but you're weird.
Yeah, I am.
Ask people in Nashville.
Yeah. Talk about weird. Yeah,
the
we're
TikTok
definitely
generation.
clip generation. It's YouTube highlights, reels, whatever.
And who's always on the reels?
Stars.
So therefore, we think if we don't have what we see all the time, it's a lot like our lives.
Riley Green is performing just as good as, I would say, 90% of team's best player. Like,
he's as good as Juan Soto.
He's got almost a 900 OPS. He's got close to 20 home runs.
Is he close to Juan Soto?
Yes, he's better than Juan Soto.
Can I? Okay, but now you're going into dangerous territory, and I have said this for years on radio, television, and here. this is a very strange sports town in the regard that what you guys just said is 100% factual. But it's also the same sports town that will put the likes of the Ingites and Don Kelly and less than players on pedestals they simply
But only
don't
you're
belong.
allowed to be critical.
Right.
Anytime someone else is critical of them.
Jake Wallman. Like, we were going through that the last few weeks. Seriously, okay, shh. Double secret. I was sending texts to these people going, honest to God, the way that some Wings fans are talking about Jake Wallman, he's won 5 Norris trophies in a row. We're a really weird town like that. Spenny, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
We should embrace Riley Green, okay?
Yeah.
Riley Green is a really good player.
He's one of the best outfielders in the MLB.
You and I are going to part different ways. We're going to part different ways if you sit back and go, he's achieved greatness. I'm going to go, I got pulled over there. But when you talk about what he did yesterday defensively, that was a show. When you're talking about what he does at the plate, we should embrace Riley Green.
He's on the path to superstardom. And it's
right?
like... And he's
not there yet.
No, but he's still a young player.
Yep.
He's only 24 or 23 years old. Like, he is on the path to superstardom.
We're
but he's
a
not
weird
there
town
yet.
like that, Neil. You know that.
Really
this
close,
is this is a weird. It's a weird time. We fall in love with like random, I think, support players. Right? Just fall in.
Oh,
and
that's why
you don't
Flannel
know
hates
how
it.
it happens, but they just kind of like we fall in love with and then they will defend these players adamantly. It's a strange time. Listen, okay, I have fun with the Ingites and, Don Kelly.
Shout
People
out Don
forget
Kelly.
Justin Verlander. There was a period of time after 11 and 12, Justin Verlander got killed in this town. Killed. Remember in 2013, he just couldn't find it. Like,
Right.
really, he really couldn't find it.
100
And
pitches after 5 innings.
it was Sanchez who was dealing. And then by the end of the year, and it was funny because JV kept telling everybody, you guys, I'm close. I'm close. And then by the end, he was disgusting. Like, go look at his numbers down the stretch and in that playoff run of 2013, okay? But man, you would have thought that he was the worst pitcher in baseball, and we wasted. So we're kind of weird like that, our sports zone. We are. And I think we're all guilty. I'm guilty of it. I've turned guys into something that they are. I fell in love with Omar Infante. You guys can all laugh at me. I fell in love with Omar Infante. I did. I called him my little lighthouse. When the seas were rough and the skies were dark, hark, what is that in the distance?
That's Omar Infante,
It
3
was
for 4.
Omar Infante lighting the way for me to come home. We're all guilty
Brennan
of it.
Bosch got me pretty good.
Yeah.
Brennan Bosch.
Pretty hard not to.
Brennan Bosch got me pretty good. I was like, holy shit, dude, this guy kills everything he hits. And
The Ryan Rayburn thing. The
Oh,
Ryan Rayburn
I
thing was
hated
crazy.
Ryan Rayburn.
But it was crazy. I got free conies out of it, which was cool, or 45-cent conies or whatever, 25-cent conies, whatever it was.
You know what? The thing the tandem that got me was the Adam Everett Ramon Santiago tandem at shortstop. I was like, those two guys together are an all-star shortstop. Like, we got two guys. You can put one in there every other day.
When I was a kid, it was Davy Cruz.
Yeah.
Was it?
Senior double. 50 doubles.
Yeah.
Hey, a 50 doubles, Sean.
Remember when Jamer Candelario led the league in doubles?
I do.
Oh, man.
What a time. What a time to be alive. All right, Woodward Sports chat thread. Jacaro, everything is lining up for Scooble on Sunday Night Baseball, Neil.
I
hear
know
that
why
one,
you're
Sean?
doing that, and it's not fair to me. It really isn't fair to me. I promise you, if there is a Sunday night game, I know a guy. I'll get tickets. I can't this Sunday, okay? And I apologize. And I apologize to you out there as well. I cannot this Sunday.
We're going to be at Old Miami, too, Sean. That's going to be a double feature
You
for
know,
me at
I'm
Old
actually
Miami.
going to the game on Friday. It's funny. I'll be at the game on Friday. I can't on Sunday.
I think I'm pulling a double. I'm doing the Rocket Mortgage Sunday during the day.
Saturday night, my boy's doing a show at Old Miami, so I'm going to be there Saturday night.
That's a cool spot.
Oh, I love it.
Cool spot.
Rashad says in the chat, Neil, Detroit fans do this with every team in town. Fans are constantly paranoid.
That is true.
Which I don't get. We are the Andy Dufresne of sports fans. We climbed through the sewer.
Yeah, we did.
And we came out clean on the other side. We're finally through it. And, this is the reaction to it. And I'll never understand it, man. I mean, I do. I think I do. It's a lot like life. As I said, we see these clips on social media, and it's always Aaron Judge and all these guys, and we view ourselves as less than because our everyday doesn't look like someone else's highlight reel.
You know what we could do? We could get like a psychologist in here in the summer and have like fans lay down on that couch.
Sean,
Like, I'm serious.
Chris Blackburn wants to know about Milky Waters. He had
the only 6-star.
He's committing to
athlete
Michigan.
ever.
His son is committing to Michigan, I heard this year.
He is a hybrid defensive end quarterback.
Yeah.
6 stars. 6'5".
The very first ever rival 6 stars.
6'5", 283 Tacoma East.
It's what Cam Newton wanted to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The very first ever 6-star rating, according to Rivals.
The last I heard, he's considering Vanderbilt. That was the last I heard, because he knows that Pavi is going to be gone, and he was like, well, he created this incredible, I guess you could say path to greatness. So he's considering Vanderbilt right now. But
Shout out Milky.
phenomenal player.
Also in the Woodward Sports chat thread, Noah Messi, MLB is second statistically.
They're definitely up in the ratings right now.
Well,
talked
Noah,
about it.
I would say this.
They don't do numbers like
Their
the
TV
NBA
deal
though. Yeah.
is around $12 billion over 7 years. The NBA's TV deal is $76 billion over 11 years. So tell me statistically, what's more valuable? What's bigger?
Let's go to break.
I'll rest my case. Yes.
And let me
let's go
tell
to
you
break.
about Feldman Chevrolet, because Feldman is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. They've got locations for you in a bunch of different cities in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing. You can find a Feldman Chevrolet near you. This month's specials include the Equinox LT 4-wheel drive for $209 a month, or the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab $149 per month. It's Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. And let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Stop in, sit down, relax, get an award-winning haircut from one of our lovely, talented stylists. You can get a hot leather neck shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, all that wrapped into one in the King's treatment. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. It's wicked awesome.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
It's part beauty, part beast. It's for those who dare to be different, for those who want to stand out, and for those who are built for more. The all-new Ineos Grenadier combines strength and style for an unmatched driving experience. Sold exclusively at Feldman Ineos of Waterford.
It's Mad Packs. You can get them at a store near you today. Go to getmadpacks.com to find all the retailers they are in. They're just great stuff. The high-low pre-rolls, the Boom Shakalaka Tarantulas, the THCA-infused Blizzard Pack Moon Rocks, or just the normal weed. If you just want regular weed, they got that too. It's Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the perfect thing to enjoy before you go get a pizza from Buddy's, maybe.
Hi, Neil Rule for Buddy's Pizza, as a matter of fact, and right there on your screen, you
What a
see
great combination.
what it's all. You see what it's all
That's
about
a
right
perfect
there. It
one.
is Buddy's, the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. There's over 20 Buddy's locations. E&E's live from Buddy's downtown, aren't they? This afternoon?
Is it today?
I think it is. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So, hey, if you're downtown, pull up. If you're not downtown, go to buddyspizza.com. Get that, or it's Monday. It's like 150,000 degrees outside. Just let Buddy's do the cooking for you. Use a promo code 10meal when you go to buddyspizza.com. That pizza can be on your dinner table tonight. Buddy's Pizza, the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, Chase, intern Simeon, and of course Spencer Raxter as well. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. And, we just kind of, it's Monday. The Tigers are off today. I just asked the question, why does everybody hate the Tigers? They're the best team in baseball, but they do. What? They do.
There's a lot of hate. A lot of hate.
Yes. DNC ENT. TV deals are irrelevant when talking about popularity of the 24-25 seasons in a vacuum. DNC ENT, you and I vibe together. TV deals are never irrelevant. It's the focus, the sole thing that makes the sports world go round. It's all leagues care about. For real. Because it's the way they make their money.
Would you say today, I'm intrigued at this conversation, and I agree with what you're saying. Would you say today, if you were to rank the 4 majors, which, as we know, I'll be the first guy to say it, biggest NHL fan, I know it's not number 4, okay? Would you say baseball's still 2? Or would it be the NBA?
It depends on how you keep score. Like, if you're doing it based off sentimental stuff, baseball's going to be 2. If you're doing it because, like, the ratings are up this year, baseball's going to be 2. But in the business world, which is how this is all run, and I know we don't like it, there's no debate.
I don't think there's any debate.
God, dude.
I mean, see, I think baseball fans are have gone through this incredible thing in the last 40 years where not that long ago, you would hear people say that it's still America's pastime. And I would say, no, it's America's past its time. Football took over a good 45 years ago. And they have not relinquished the crown. If anything, they've built their empire. They really have.
Oh, the gap is bigger than it's ever been.
The empire keeps growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger with the NFL. And I think a lot of the old school baseball fans, Neil, have had a tough time coming to grips with that, but now they probably do. I like the way you said sentimental reasons. If I had to rank it, it would be 1, 2, NFL, and then MLB. Business-wise, I don't know how anybody could argue that. The sheer numbers would tell you otherwise.
Correct. So, and we're going to, I have kind of an NBA thing because I want to talk about like what happened in the trade market as it relates to the Detroit Pistons and like because I saw a lot of people were critical of the NBA Finals yesterday, which I didn't understand, and it's a question that I constantly ask.
I just opened Twitter and saw like a zoomed-in video of Halliburton's Achilles.
Yes,
dude, that is just
the wave rode up the back of his leg.
Nasty, man. Anytime, I mean, I know it's the same with KD, it's the same with all of them that you see.
It's an Achilles.
You see it pop.
You see
dude.
it.
Is
100%.
Oh, it's gnarly.
Speaking of that, Doxson tomorrow, I believe that's. I've had people ask me, so like, what is the deal with the Achilles?
Yeah, it's happened. I feel like a lot more than it ever has.
Yeah, and we're gonna have the discussion with it for sure. There is no doubt. But yeah, Justin from North Carolina, NHL greater than NBA. I prefer MLB over both. See, like here's MLB's problem.
MLB's cooking right now.
No, but here's their problem though.
It's too long.
That's it.
Way too long.
The games are long, and they did a great job cutting time off the games. When they introduced the pitch clock, Sean, I watched more baseball that summer than I watched in a very long time.
Yeah.
Huge.
Kids are not going. They don't
162 games.
Yeah, to sit through 9 innings, they're not going to do it.
You can knock 50 off of that.
Right now, MLB's chance is to be elite in the social media sphere. Like that's their shot.
And also, like. I talked about it a little bit, like where they're at right now. Like Tarek Skubal is having one of the best pitching performances in the history of the MLB for a year.
Back-to-back runs.
Aaron Judge is having one of the best hitting performances in the history of the MLB. Shohei Ohtani is the best player in the history of the MLB.
The most unicorn athlete we've ever seen.
And you've got all these young guys like an Ellie De La Cruz, like a James Wood, like all these guys that are stepping up and shooting into superstardom. Like they are flush with stars right now. The MLB is flush with stars, and that is something that a younger fan or a different generation could grab onto, because if you don't, or your team isn't good, or you're in Florida and the Marlins and the Rays are mad, it's like, okay, but I'm an Ellie De La Cruz fan, or I am a Fernando Tatis fan or a Cunha fan. Right. Like these young stars that the MLB has are carrying a lot of water for them.
And what the problem is, they need to do a better job. Like, I'm glad that they got on the Crow Armstrong train lately, okay? But I'm going to tell you what, and I have watched this with my son and his friends, the Ohtani, shoving Ohtani as far as they can up everybody's behind, I think they can spread that wealth more.
Yeah.
Ohtani deserves a ton of love. I don't want one person to misconstrue me, okay? But so does Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
Do you know what Aaron Judge is doing? Aaron Judge has like a 1,200 OPS right
It's
now.
insane.
Like that's real. That's real right now. So I think the powers that be at MLB have to do a better job of, hey, Chase is having a pretty good year too. Hey, there's this kid in Chicago, this Simeon kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start to jump on him. So I think the MLB can do a better job. Nobody does a better job than the NFL at that. Nobody.
I know the Nationals suck, but James Wood has 20 home runs.
Right.
Like, go look at this kid. You know?
Cal Raleig's a catcher. He's got 30 home runs.
He's got 30
it's June.
bombs in Seattle.
It's June.
Yeah.
And no one knows. If Cal Raleigh walked in this door, no one would know. Mm-hmm. Like that, but that goes back to it. Dad with Tourette's, MLB does well regionally. Well, correct, like hockey. Like it is. Like it can be regional.
It's the MLB is we talked about it. It's up in pretty much every demographic, at least 25% right now, and like especially the college age person, like the college age male, it's up like 60%.
Yeah.
It's the MLB is doing something right.
Well,
and I think it's the stars. Like, there are so many stars in every different market. Like you said, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they all have gripping superstars, and that is extremely important.
You know what else it is, though, Spenny, too? And I noticed this last year, even with the Tigers, and this was like May when I went to one of the games against the Astros. It was I think it was a Saturday night game, and that demographic goes to the game for the experience of the game. Like they're in like the line for drinks was insane.
Yeah.
They're all everybody was drinking the the big slushy drinks that they they put out there. Like they've done a good job with that. Like the food offerings and the gimmicky drinks and all that kind of stuff. But it works, man. It works. Like people go to party.
And you know what the MLB does better, and they have to, because we talk about it's 162 game season, so they do it better than the NBA or the NFL, or I mean the NBA or the NHL is. Every other night, it's a somebody bobblehead night. It's a Hawaiian T-shirt night.
Yeah.
It's a raincoat night. That gets people to come out. Like, hey, it's a Friday night. It's 90 degrees outside. It's beautiful. Why not go to a Tigers game? We're gonna get a free Jim Leland bobblehead. Like that. That will bring guys. They'll bring people to the ballpark.
Do you know the NFL is so powerful? It is legitimately the only entity that somehow is kryptonite to the small market finals dilemmas. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Right. It's
the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. I don't understand why it matters, but that doesn't stop me from saying it's factual. Like you brought the question up. I was more into this final because it was Indiana and OKC. That grabbed me more. You guys, I can't figure it out. I don't have an explanation for it. I've seen it in Stanley Cup finals. I remember when
Carolina Edmonton?
Yeah, that was the one. That was a great Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, that was the lowest ratings ever,
yeah,
right?
It was fantastic. It was an unbelievable series. And yeah, I kind of had a rooting interest. I worked in the family, and I eventually went and called some games for the Hurricanes. But are you kidding me? That was a great final. Somehow that matters to people. I don't get it, because it's funny. When I talk to people, Chase, you got... Who the hell? Chase, honestly, if you said to me, well, I don't know, man, this doesn't do much for me. It's like, hey, cool, nice talking sports with you. Remind me never to do it again. And I'm going to go the other way. Like, I'm sorry, that's the kind of shit non-sports fans do, right?
Yeah, New York's not in it. I'm not going to watch. Like,
right.
But Spenny...
It happens.
It's real.
It's real.
It's 100% real. Real quick on this. Dad with Tourette's, Cartier, Hurricane, Daryl Slaughter, Cartier, all of them say the pitch clock brought me back in. And it did for me, no doubt. Like, I was always a baseball guy. Like, I watch Tigers in some form or fashion. We talk about it all the time. I watch or listen. I was on the golf course Friday night, and I turned the game on the radio as soon as the rain delay was over. Like, that's how I operate. But with that being said, the pitch clock The pitch clock did a lot. But, Spenny, it's a good segue because this NBA Finals, I don't get it. And maybe this is along the line of the of what we were talking about earlier, like the fantasyization of the sport. This NBA Finals, like, it went 7 games. You had the clutch guy. Obviously he snapped his Achilles during the game yesterday. You had the clutch guy, all of it. What SGA is doing is very historic.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
It was the first time in, how many years? 20 years that he won an MVP, scoring title, and Finals MVP all in the same season.
Yep. And averaged over 30 a game doing it.
Yeah.
There's a very, very short list. But you don't care, and it's not because it's the NBA. You don't care because he doesn't play for, A, the Pistons, or B, the Knicks, or the Lakers, or the Heat.
It's real.
It's Sean, it's 100% real.
real.
And I don't get it because the Thunder are everything you say you want. They defend.
Homegrown.
They're physical.
Yeah.
It's built up. They may be the model organization in sports.
They're a deep team.
They don't shoot a ton. Like SGA doesn't shoot a ton of threes. He shot a lot yesterday, but over his resume, he doesn't shoot a ton of threes. He's an elite scorer. They've been built the right way. I don't get it, Sean. This is what you say you want. So what do you really want? That's my question.
You want LeBron James in the finals?
You want him.
Yeah.
You want. You want.
You can
LeBron
bitch about
James.
it all you want, but that's what you want.
That's what you want.
Yep.
You want LeBron James
You
in
want.
the finals every
You
year.
want Steph Curry shooting 43s.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yep.
I hate the NBA. They shoot too many threes. No, you don't. You want Steph Curry out there. You want. I hate LeBron. No, you don't. You watch when he plays.
Yeah.
So what do you? Can you
Even
guys
if you're
just be
hate watching,
honest?
you're still watching.
You're still watching.
You're still
so
watching.
all I'm asking, Sean, is for the people to be honest. Just tell me that's what you want. Tell me you want Steph shooting 43s, and tell me you want to see LeBron play, because that's what you want. The ratings show it. It's undefeated.
There's no way I'm going to argue it. I don't get it. I really, truly don't. The same thing happens in the National Hockey League. Look, when the New York that Stanley Cup championship 31 years ago has been put on such a pedestal. Think about every commercial you see. You still see some kind of callback to that. When they're doing the pregame shows, they're still doing some kind of callback to that. It's so strange. I don't get.
Sell in sports.
Yeah, it's listen. The only one who is impervious to it is the National Football League. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
It means nothing. The NFL is impervious to that.
That is
I
true.
love that word, impervious. He's impervious to pain.
Yeah, the NFL's impervious to pain. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Detroit straight up says it's because SGA is not the media narrative or a large market team.
100%.
It's just like what happens with Pistons teams. Fans want drama.
Absolutely.
Then stop saying you don't.
That's exactly it.
That's all
Neil,
I'm looking
I'm sorry.
for.
I did it. I said this 15 years ago. I stand. Nobody, no entity is better at the soap opera for sports fans than the NBA. Nobody. Nobody's better. It is. It's a soap opera for sports fans.
Look at Luka. Look at the Luka trade.
Right.
Oh, and then Dallas just so happens to get the number 1 overall pick when it's another generational white dude. Come on. We know what's going on. They did it with LeBron, they did it with Anthony Davis, and now they did it with Luka. If you trade your superstar to a market or you let your superstar go to a big market team, you're going to get the pat on the back from the NBA. They do it every time.
The Lakers sold for $10 billion.
Yeah.
End. That's it. I don't have anything to add to that.
40% more. 50, 60% more than the Washington Commanders sold for.
$10 billion.
The Lakers majority sold for $10 billion.
Yes, right.
60% of the Lakers sold for $10 billion.
Justin from North Carolina, Shaq dominating the paint is greater than Steph Curry jacking up threes.
It's a different era. I mean, to each their own. Shaq was amazing to watch and extremely dominant.
Did you see that video making the rounds where somebody asked Charles Barkley who was the best, PG, who was the guy that you wanted on your team? And he adamantly said Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
I just saw this yesterday.
Yes.
I don't even know when
saw it too, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know when it happened. And then it was funny. I think it was Dan Patrick said, "But you'd rather have Steph Curry today." And he goes, "No, I'd rather have Isaiah Thomas today." He goes, he's the toughest guy ever, the most underrated player and everything. The answer shocked me because I am one of those guys. I like watching Steph Curry fire up threes. I like seeing shit that I haven't seen before. I do. I openly admit it.
Sean, that gold medal game against France, when I actually had a rooted investment in Steph Curry and I could actually cheer for him, that was one of the most liberating things I've ever felt as a sports fan.
Laughed.
It was insane.
I was laughing.
Yeah.
Like that. You know, sometimes you watch a game and you
in.
just start laughing. Yes.
When the last fifth one in a row where he's got Batum and Fournier draped over him, and you knew it was going in.
You just laugh.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. But you know, a lot of it, Neil, is too. I mean, whether we want to admit it or not, I think the older generation, and maybe a lot of those fans that you're used to the 2004 Detroit Pistons. You know what? We're turning into our fathers. Things were better when I was a kid, right? Y'all never saw Gale Sayers. Don't talk to me about this Barry Sanders.
Your music sounds like shit.
Right. That's the shitty conversations that we had. There was nobody to compare Steph Curry to.
No.
Nobody. There was nobody in the league, okay? Every now and again, Michael Cooper. Do you remember Michael Cooper? He'd go on a heater and hit like 3 or 4 threes, and you were like, wow. And Steph hit 3 or 4 threes in a 3-minute span. Like, come on, stop it.
Yeah, that I was like, I finally understood it. Like, these Steph Curry fans, these little kids, all these young guys that will like die tooth and nail that Steph Curry is the greatest basketball player of all time, and they will fight that until I understood it in that moment. I was like, okay, like actually watching and rooting for this guy and him doing this, I understand.
Well, he single-handedly changed the game of basketball, too.
Yep, that is true.
He changed. People had talked about it before, like the analytics of it, but he was like a living, breathing example of the analytics of basketball.
But yeah, like you can say what you want, you can talk about this is what you do.
Yeah,
this is how you win.
No, and it is, and it is that for sure, and that's why I give him a lot of credit. I do too. If it were me, I side with Charles Barkley on that degree because Isaiah Thomas would kill his family to win a game.
In today's game.
He would.
In today's game, I have no idea how you couldn't pick Steph Curry, and that hurts my heart to say that. Today's game, what today's game is, I'd have to take Steph Curry.
The only pushback I would have on that, Sean, is what we saw in the NBA playoffs was not today's game. Like, it changed.
Oh, it has.
The games change. So that would be my pushback on it. Woodward Sport, Brandon has a good one here. The same can be said for everything in life. Movies, for instance. We want original stories. We don't want another remake. Yet remakes kill it at the box office.
I'm going to see Superman when it comes out. The day it comes out, I already got my tickets.
I saw 28 years later, and it made me go watch the other 2 over the weekend again.
Yeah, I really want to see that.
Yeah.
I heard it's amazing.
Muchachi Lee, Olo Akande had a way better career than Darko. Get your facts straight. You know what? When I saw that message, I went and looked at it, and I did sleep on Olo Akande's career a little bit. I did. You got me on that one. I knew how much of a struggle it was for them. But then when I went and took a look at the numbers, it was very, I guess I would say it's kind of Darko-like in that he had a 2-year kind of pop-off there. He did. So it's very comparable. Good catch on that. But Anthony Bennett stunk.
Anthony Bennett is terrible.
He was absolutely terrible.
And if your team drafted Anthony Bennett, you might need something to help you sleep at night.
Might.
And we got it for you. Just go to Loom. They've got a ton of products to help anybody do anything. Like, Loom is amazing. They've got the buzzin' drinks. I'm telling you, it's 7.5 milligrams of THC in a seltzer. Perfect for whether you're out by the pool, whether you're on the golf course, whether you're on the boat, whatever you're doing, these buzzin' drinks are perfect for that. You can find them at Loom.com. Scan the QR code to place your order online and make sure you use promo code WSN30 to get 30% off your order. It's Loom Cannabis.
It's part beauty, part beast. It's for those who dare to be different, for those who want to stand out, and for those who are built for more. The all-new Ineos Grenadier combines strength and style for an unmatched driving experience. Sold exclusively at Feldman Ineos of Waterford.
The hours of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, June 29th at the Old Miami in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Ven Johnson. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
I'd pick 80 other things.
Yeah, that would not be my first choice.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network.
It's always
Neil
cold
Rule.
too. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes.
Anytime you get it, it's like it's cold. Like,
Yes.
why is my burger cold?
Like I said, I worked there. I have such a biased opinion. I had everything like extremely fresh.
Yeah.
I made it myself, and then I ate it right then and there. So it was really good.
Can I very quick?
Yes.
Like my daughter says, Dad, I'm hungry. Can you pick up something? Of course, yeah. Well, just go in the backyard. The money tree, it's sprouting. Get all the money you want, right? So I said, yeah. I'm not gonna say which place. She picked a random like lunch burger place, and I'm like, that's what you want?
Some would
Yeah.
say a royalty burger place.
Yeah, she wanted to rule.
The oligarchy of burger places. Yeah.
I guess you do like to go to a place where you rule.
Yeah,
I
you have it your
suppose.
way.
You
And
do
not
rule.
Neil Rule.
Neil
Yeah.
Rule.
They say
But-
that at the end.
They
I
do.
don't know if you know.
Neil Rule. But
I get 11 cents every time
I
that
don't know
commercial
why.
plays.
I'm just kind of perplexed at it. I like.
Listen,
okay.
I don't know if they have a trademark on this either, but they're foul fries. You remember the foul fries that they had? Those
The
were
poultry
really good.
straws?
I haven't tried them since they re-released.
Very underrated.
But the original run of those, I used to get those all the time.
Very underrated.
So
Yes.
good.
Yes.
And
original-
like I said, the main attraction of this burger
They're
establishment.
really large burger.
Yeah, they're really large. Nothing wrong. That's a good fast food burger.
It's a good burger.
Yeah.
Another slept on is their original foul sandwich, because it's like a long. It's
Yeah,
kind of like
it's got the long bun.
Yeah, it's kind of like the McDonald's hash
They
browns,
really
like the shape
fucked
of it. It's
The
really
Italian
shot
one.
the mayo on that
Yeah.
one. No, it's always just all over the place.
Okay. Good.
Woodward Food. Who says no?
No.
It would be good.
Are you kidding? I have like taste tests every
Remember when
day.
Chef Dave did the show?
Yeah. Who
It'd be
can
cool if
forget?
like Sean was like the judge of like a cook-off. Like all of us tried to like cook like barbecue something, and Sean told us how bad we were.
Sleeper on who would win. My guy Microwave Nick.
Yeah.
He can cook.
Yeah.
He can cook pretty well.
Neil Rule. No, yeah, it does. I get 11
Neil
cents
Rule.
every single time. Matthew Kruger, that double crunch barbecue burger at A&W I had last week was fire.
Me and my friends used to walk to A&W all the time.
Yeah, where you stand with A&W?
There's one on like 9 and Mound. We used to walk over there, get some cheese curds, get a burger. Nothing wrong with A&W.
Good
No.
cheese curds.
Yeah.
They have really good cheese curds. For them to call their hot dog a coney is absolutely a joke. Like, it bothers me. And like my kids, I brought up the Ryan Rayburn thing. Remember if Ryan Rayburn homered, I think it was a quarter, you got a quarter coney or something.
Yeah.
So and I would get physically angry. Honestly, it made me really, because that's not a coney. It's not a coney.
That's a dog with chili on it.
You know what? If I need something quick, I'll pop in. Otherwise, I'd head someplace else.
Yeah.
But their cheese curds are really,
Cheese curds are good.
really good cheese curds.
Yep.
They have the root beer float at A&W, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
have you guys ever
iconic.
had the Black Cow? It's the root beer float, but they add a little bit of chocolate syrup in there. It kind of just amps it up a little bit.
I'm not a root beer guy. It's too sweet for me.
So
Never
if I
been a
can,
root beer guy.
if we can,
I like how Spenny goes,
if I can revisit this, very close to me, in the same kind of intersection, is an A&W's and a Culver's. I would pick Culver's
I'm
101
taking
times
Culver's.
out
I
of
mean,
100.
who would?
Culver's is in like a class
The
of its
butter
own.
burger. Oh man.
Cody Engel.
Their cheese curds,
Culver's
too.
is superior to A&W. No question.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying they're not.
Yeah, but like I
Culver's is
said,
superior to
like,
everything.
12-year-old Spenny walking around the streets of South Warren.
You're gonna go to A&W.
We're gonna stop at A&W.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
It's a solid spot.
I think Isn't there there's only one A&W left or something?
I don't think that one's there anymore at Nine Mound.
There's
one. Oh no, you know
There's
what?
one in Dearborn by the Fairlane Town Center. Because when I first moved down to Detroit from Mount Pleasant, I was living right around the corner.
I remember there was a shipping yard right next to the one on Nine Mound.
So I got to look it up.
Yeah.
There's one in Lexington, isn't there?
Zegers got dealt?
I think you got to be
There's one off
up
Cedar
north.
Street in Lansing, or Mason, I should say.
Yep, there's one in Lansing.
Do we have some breaking trade news?
Somebody just put it in the chat. I'm checking Twitter to see.
Are we so we're looking to confirm on that?
Yes.
Cartier, is A&W the same as Dairy Queen? No, they are two separate.
Yeah, Trevor Zegers to Philly. Ooh. Ryan Poling, a 2nd-round pick and a 4th-round pick.
Should the Red Wings have gotten in, Sean?
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Trevor Zegers to Philly.
Really?
Yeah, for Ryan Poling, a 2nd-round pick and a 4th-round pick.
That's pretty good.
That's
because Ryan Poling is not all that.
And Zegers is.
Yeah, he was a Habs draft choice. There was a lot of speculation because of his relationship with Cole Caulfield that he might end up in Montreal.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal.
Philly.
I like Philly's side of that deal a lot.
That's the second trade they made recently too, because they traded Drysdale for Cutter Gauthier, within the last year or so.
Yeah, yeah. That's a pretty good deal. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
you guys, you know what we need to drop officially? I'll say it right here, and I don't want to. Mitch Marner's not coming to Detroit. Stop it. Drop it. It's over. Drop it. Over. Not happening.
Based on bow. I'll hit you with the bow.
Okay.
Bow.
Two things. Number one, there's no reason to come here right now.
Oh,
Number two, if the speculation is correct and you are going to see more guys in the next few years bet on themselves for when the cap skyrockets in a couple of years, you're looking at Vegas, you're looking at the LA Kings, you're looking at maybe even as crazy as it sounds, the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Honestly, because he's gonna bet on himself and go to a team where he feels he's got a real good chance to perhaps get to a Stanley Cup final. And then in 2 years, everybody's seen him on the national stage. And oh, by the way, he finally did something that he didn't do in Toronto. And he had a big playoff. And then he really bets on himself for that next contract 2 years from now. But there's a lot of speculation around the league that there are a lot of guys like that are going to do that. Okay, why would I sign, Neil, think about this.
Yes.
Why would I sign an 8-year contract today when 2 years from now I could sign an 8-year contract for infinitely more? There's a lot of speculation. Again, that's all it is. There's a lot of speculation that's the avenue that he's looking at.
I think
you don't think New York's they're clearing up for something, right? They're
If he's looking to win, he wouldn't go to the Rangers.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't think he'd go to the Islanders either.
That's fair.
So, and that's why if you look at it, the three teams that keep coming up are Vegas and the Kings and the Canes.
Shauna, you're probably.
I don't know if I'm
probably
right.
No, you're probably warm on that trail because in baseball, I think Alex Bregman and the deals we're seeing in baseball are kind of showing you the way right now.
You got it.
Where you can do the best of both worlds. You get player opt-outs, and as the TV deals increase, because you guys, we understand what's going to happen, right? The NFL is opting out early of their TV contracts, and they are going to rework their deals, and the salary cap's going to go up by
a lot,
50%. In the coming years. Like you could see the cap go up 50% over the span of 3 years. Like it's going to be insane. We're going to see it with the NBA too.
Yeah.
Where the cap is just we talked about it with Lamar. He will probably be the first $70 million a year AAV player.
Yeah, we talked about McDavid will be 20 plus.
Yeah,
so.
like it's going to happen, and the reason it's going to happen is because they generate said money. It's a very simple math concept, guys. Like the whole sports finance thing, it's roughly, all right, to bring all the sports together, it's roughly. There are little minute differences. So Vanderbilt people out there, everybody just calm down. I'm going to speak in generalities where if you want to get really, really granular on it, you can. I understand that but generally, leagues split the revenue 50-50. Some are 52-48, some are 48-52. Generally, Vanderbilt fans, league split the revenue 50-50. So when there's an explosion in revenue, i.e. a new TV deal, it is mandated per their labor agreement that money is split roughly 50-50. So as you see these TV contracts explode, you're going to see the salaries explode even more.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how many guys are doing this, because there are some huge names up there that are being thrown out there that saying, well, I'm going to let this play out. And I just know when the cap really skyrockets a couple of years from now, I could get even more. And, what's the term, Neil? Bet on yourself.
Right.
It's the bet on yourself aspect of things. But be that as it may, even if that isn't the case, and he wants to get his money now, and again, there's a lot of speculation out there. I know I've read it. I think Elliot Friedman made that point that he might be willing to bet on himself. This is where I would say to people, what would be the Detroit Red Wing difference?
We have some breaking-ish news here. This could drive down the price for Mitch Marner. Allegedly, a picture was released of him, and I don't know if this is good or bad for Mitch Marner, but allegedly, this is Mitch Marner. And, so if that comes out, oh, man, you'd hate to see his
Poor
price
guy.
go down. Yeah.
He just ruined it. Poor
ruined
guy.
it. That could get him in Detroit. We got good weed here.
But listen, we talked about this months ago on this very show. I threw out Mitch Marner's name. And do you know what the advantage of going to Detroit would be? If
Nothing.
Detroit went over the top on everybody else.
Yeah, that's the money.
That's it.
That's your only avenue.
That's your only avenue. Whether people want to admit it or not. That's your only avenue. Which is hard for, I think, people to understand. At one point in time, this was a destination for a myriad of reasons. Chief amongst them, of course, was always being in it. And word got around about, even though they played in a shitty arena, Joe Louis Arena was shitty. You're not going to find one former Red Wing admit it, okay? I'll say it for them. They hated it because they went to other rinks and saw how other guys live. But boy, did Mr. Ilitch take care of those guys. He took care of those guys. And the reputation got out there. People knew. People knew.
Spenny, what do you want to do break-wise here? We get this White Claw one in right now?
Yeah, let's just knock them out, White Claw and jars, and then we'll sign off.
All right, White Claw Tigers Tour rolls on this Sunday. As a matter of fact, Old Miami Bar. Yes, we are out there on the White Claw Tigers Tour. Woodward Sports hitting 4 of the top bars in Detroit this weekend. Old Miami. Be a part of the fun. Watch your reactions live on Woodward Sports Network to the best team in baseball. It's a White Claw Tigers Tour. The heavyweights will be out there at Old Miami. I was at the one at Nemo's. It was electric, and it's all brought to you by White Claw and Ben Johnson Law.
And let me tell you about Jars Cannabis. If you're looking to get yourself some cannabis, why wouldn't you stop at Jars? It's a name brand. They are a business model for others to follow. Top shelf quality, unmatched variety, and price for the people. You can find them at shopjars.com or go to @jars_life. It's Jars Cannabis.
Come to find out, man, there's a lot of A&W still in the game.
A solid burger, man. It's a solid burger.
Good for A&W.
How many?
I know there's one
A
at the
lot more than you think.
I know there's one at the mall, like 12 Oaks Mall. There used to be one that was like on Grand River Avenue. I think that one closed. Out in my direction.
It's always funny to me, too, just how close you are to around the world here. Somebody literally chimed in, and I lost it, so my bad. But I was at the A&W at Lexington this weekend, as a matter of fact. So there you have it.
Now, Simeon, are there any A&Ws down on the Vandy campus? I know you're down there a lot. Is there any A&Ws down there? Okay.
No?
I could put them onto something, maybe.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Stony Tokalot. Shout out Stony Tokalot.
Shout out.
A&W still has A&W with the drive-in still open in Standish, too. I always felt like it was an up-north thing. Soccer night in Detroit. Shout out DCFC. Big win on Saturday as well. Tough news. Ben Morris sounds like torn ACL. That is tough.
I think that drive-thru's open in Farmington, too.
Dexter and Berkeley says soccer night in Detroit.
Like it was at 9 in Orchard Lake, I think. Yeah, that place was legendary when we were their kids.
Like I
DNC.
said, the one at like 9 and Mound, it was like a gas station, A&W. Solid.
The
DNC.
little golf place was like Putt and Slut was right across the street. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. You go to A&W and then Putt and Slut. Oh my gosh, great days.
Putt and Slut sounds like my kind of time.
DNC ENT, 2 A&Ws in Lansing, 1 in Mason.
Yeah, we talked about both of those already.
Shout out.
So there it is. All right, well that will do it, everybody. Good run.
See you guys Friday.
Indeed.
Maybe the Vanderbilt crowd will calm down by then.
Neil Rule.
4 Down Friday. We need one Vanderbilt question for the college
I might have
football.
to dip back into Vanderbilt.
I am going to be friends with them all year. They don't even know it. I'm going to catch up with them all year.
Oh, yeah.
For Sean Belesian, for Chase, intern Simeon, Spencer Raster, I'm Neil Rule. Thanks for tapping in, everybody. Big D Energy. Well, see you later.